Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. So there seems to be so much more to what is happening in the Labour Party. So the Julius Abure-led Labour Party today made a very dramatic decision, which is to cancel the automatic ticket it previously reserved for the party's presidential candidate in the 2023 election, Mr. Peter Obi, and the sitting governor of Abia State, Mr. Alex Oti, for the 2027 election. Well, they made that decision today after the Abure leadership of the party held a National Executive Council meeting in Abuja. The party says that it has thrown open all its tickets from the presidency to the House of Assemblies to all qualified Nigerians. Well, let me allow you to listen to Mr. Abure today when he addressed that press conference.
Those who should stand with us in the fight for a better, restructured, organized and united party have chosen a different path. A path not of unity, but of division. I speak of course, of the illegal gathering that took place in Abia State, an attempt to create a rift within our party, led by no other than His Excellency Peter Obi and the governor of Abia State, Alex Oti. This meeting held without the authority or consent of the National Executive Council and sought to install a so-called new leadership. Let me be clear. This action was not just illegal, it was a betrayal of everything.
Well, those decisions or resolutions made were premised by what you heard Mr. Abure just said. But this is coming after some leaders of the Labour Party, including Mr. Peter Obi, Dr. Alex Oti, and some elected senators and members of the House of Representatives held a meeting in Umuahia, the Abia State capital. It was was convened by the governor of, or hosted by the governor of Abia State, where they appointed a 29-man woman-led caretaker committee by a former minister of finance, Nenadi-Led, and they're supposed to midwife. They gave them a terms of reference. They're supposed to midwife a new leadership for the Labour Party, and that's why Mr. Abure and his colleagues there in the leadership are not happy. It does look like all the tickets for any of the elected positions have now been thrown open. Let's speak with Mr. Kehinde Edun, who is the legal advisor of the Labour Party. Thank you so much, Mr. Edun, for joining us today.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, why does it look like you, Mr. Abure, and some of your friends in the leadership are behaving like a military regime that likes a sit-tight, that behaves like a sit-tight? Because there are those who believe that it does look like your time is over as in the leadership of the party.
That is not true. Barrister Julius Abure has only been in office for a period of 3 years. He became elected in 2021, and we should recognize that his election in 2021 was at a neck. That neck was necessitated by the demise of the former national chairman, A.A. Salam, who died in office. A.A. Salam was elected in 2019. His term was to run until 2023, but he died in office. So, and there could be no vacuum. So that neck was called in order to fill the vacancies that occurred as a result of the death of Alhaji A. Salam of blessed memory. So Barrister Julius Abure became elected to complete the term of A. Salam. Became elected in March 2021 to complete the term of A. Salam that was to expire on June 9, 2023. So what we are saying is that that was the term that was in June 9, 2023, but because it was just immediately after the 2023 general elections, the party at the level of NEC met and decided that it was inauspicious to have a convention at that time, and decided to extend that tenure for 12 months. And that ran until June 9, 2024, before a convention was held.
Well, I mean, all of these timelines that you have given, Mr.
Yes,
Edun, you do know that has come with its own crisis. There was a time that the Apapa faction of the leadership also held sway and also were pursuing an agenda of taking over the leadership of the party because of the court ruling that they got. And now there are those who will say there seems to be some vacuum, there seems to be some trouble that is not really allowing the party to move forward. There is, in fact, an order of court that is that also is putting the leadership of Abure in the balance.
There is no order of court against Julius Abure-led.
How many order of court do you know that is subsisting on this leadership?
There is no order of court against the leadership.
Are you saying that there are no litigation over the leadership of Abure?
There are always cases in every political party.
No, I'm not talking about every political. I'm talking about
in Labour Party. Yes, there are cases.
The Labour Party crisis.
There are cases in court, but I make bold to say there has been no order against the leadership of Julius Abure. The only interim order that was obtained in April 5, 2023 was set aside and nullified by the Court of Appeal. So as far as the law is concerned, that order never existed because the Court of Appeal said that order was obtained without jurisdiction, and that the court that gave that order ought not to have given that order. So the implication of that is that there was never any order against the Julius Abure-led National Working Committee of the party.
Right. In fact, it's a recent order coming from the court, and if you say you are not aware and you're supposed to be the legal,
there is no order of court.
I'll give you the details of that the court order. But then there are those who will say, why are you angry with the Nenadi-Usman caretaker committee?
Yes, let me explain that. That caretaker committee is no committee. The reason is that that gathering no more here is inglorious, is incongruous, is shoddy, is inappropriate, is unlawful, and illegal. Well, the organs of Labour Party are clearly defined in the Constitution of Labour Party. There is no organ like stakeholder, and if any meeting of the Labour Party is going to be called, our Constitution is very clear about it, that the meetings of the National Convention, National Executive Committee, and National Working Committee shall be called by a notice issued by the National Secretary in consultation with an approval of the National Chairman. It is so clear. So what they have done in Umar here is an unlawful assembly. Yes, they gathered, but that was not an organ of the party. They were only on a frolic of their own, and they could not make any decision on behalf of Labour Party. They could not set up any committee on behalf of Labour Party. So, well, these are members of the party. They could decide to meet, and they met, but they cannot make any decision for Labour Party. They cannot set up any committee for Labour Party. So we are not saying we are angry with any committee. As far as we are concerned, there is no committee. The National Executive Council of Labour Party, led by Barrister Julius Abure, is in place, it is functioning, and it has the authority to lead Labour Party. So what they have said, what they have done, that committee, is, as far as we are concerned, it is not a committee of the Labour Party. It is clear that only the National Executive Committee of Labour Party can set up standing or ad hoc committees of the party. So where did that come about? So as far as we are concerned, there is no committee led by Nenadi-Usman.
So, I mean, you look at what is going on, and those who will say this is an interventionist move by the elected members of the party who are the ambassadors of your party. And it does look like you and Mr. Abure and your friends in the leadership are now being left alone. And it does look like you are now seen as persona non grata.
That is not correct.
If you say, were you invited to that meeting?
Now, let me explain to you.
Was the Abure leadership invited to that meeting?
Let me tell you, but
why didn't you people attend?
Let me explain to you. That meeting is a failed meeting. First of all, look at the people invited. They invited the National Working Committee. No member of the National Working Committee led by Aburi attended. They invited the elected members, National Assembly members. We have 36 members of the House of Representatives. They have only 3 in attendance. Look at that. Look at that. You can see that that's a failed meeting. They invited the NSC and TUC. No member of the TUC attended. You can see that it's a failed meeting. How many people do they have? They also invited some, maybe they said the former governorship candidates and all that. So what you are saying, that's a failed meeting. We have no member of the National Committee of Labour Party in attendance. We have only 3 of 36 members of the House of Representatives in attendance, and maybe about 3 senators in attendance. That's a failed meeting. So when they saw that that meeting failed, they only went inside and announced maybe 2 names and said there. So as far as we are concerned, it is a failed meeting. It's another failed attempt to hijack the leadership of the party. So we are not perturbed by it. We are not disturbed. It's another failed attempt to hijack the leadership of the party.
So you don't think that this is there's a need for child of necessity when there is a vacuum or a crisis?
There is no vacuum in the leadership of the Labour Party. There is no vacuum ever existed. And there's no vacuum. There can be no vacuum.
In what is going on in your party, this back and forth that is happening in your party.
Yes, we understand
what
that.
What are you and Abure and the rest afraid of? Is it possible for you to throw your hat in the ring if you know that you are popular enough to retain the seat that you are currently occupying?
If there is the need for any convention, we'll do it. But when the term of office of the national officers are still subsisting, there's no need for any other meeting. If that term terminates, yes, there is a meeting, and we are not afraid. A political party is a democracy. We have to understand that. And the majority rules. In a democracy, majority rules. So we cannot concede to illegality. We cannot concede to some people arrogating authority to themselves to call meetings and saying they are making decisions for the party. There has to be the rule of law. We have to abide by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, by the Electoral Act, and by the constitution of the party. That is clear. We are not afraid of anything, but we are saying the National Working Committee and the National Executive Committee of the Labour Party, led by Julius Abure, is still very late in office. And so there's no need. And nothing has happened. The meeting in Umuahia, they are in the frolic of their own.
So you look at it and you wonder, can you lead the party without the people in the party?
The people in the party are still intact. What I've just said is that...
What is Labour Party before 2023 without Peter Obi or after 2023?
They are still members of the party. We are not saying they are not members of the party. As many people as want to
if they don't
the party,
agree with what is going on in the party and they want to move the party forward, and they constituted, they took this move to move the party forward, it does look like the allegations, therefore, some members who belong into that group who are saying that some of you are being sponsored by fifth columnists, those that do not want the progress of Labour Party. Does it look like you are affirming their fears that there are those who have hijacked the Labour Party for ulterior motives?
We don't believe that. That is cheap blackmail by very few people. Majority of Nigerians believe in what we are doing. Majority of Nigerians understand what they are doing. And majority of Nigerians know that the meeting in Umuahia cannot represent...
The likes of Kenneth Okonkwo.
He's just an individual.
He
is an individual.
He has spoken for the campaign.
He can say whatever he can say,
that
yes.
The clique of the leadership has a problem, is a fundamental clog in the wheels of progress of the Labour Party.
Kenneth Okonkwo is an individual. We have over 200 million
But
Nigerians.
Peter Obi does not look to agree with you. Alex Oti does not look to agree with you. The candidate of Lagos State of the Labour Party does not, because those that were there who voted
we have governorship
Nenadi-Led
candidates in 36 states of Nigeria. So if 1 or 2 governorship candidates are saying something, we cannot take that as a view.
You don't see that a vote of no confidence that have been passed on you, on your side of the group within the leadership of the party is very loud and clear with the kind of people.
It is not. What I've told you is that we have 36 House of Reps members. How many of them were there? Only 3.
Is
that a good percentage? We are talking about less than, how many, what is the percentage?
It looks like
less than 10%.
It looks like a fight to finish.
When you are having less than 10% of people taking a decision.
It looks like you and Abure and the rest are really ready for a fight when you now say that you have withdrawn their automatic tickets?
We are not fighting anybody. If, like I've told you, a political party is a democracy. If certain undemocratic pronouncements have been made, we continue to refine our democracy. We continue. Democracy is about liberty, it's about level playing field, it's about the rule of law, it's about opportunity for all. If a decision has been taken as to limit the opportunity for people to participate, you know that that decision is undemocratic and it can always be reviewed. We have to continue to make democracy better and better. And that is what we are doing. It is not fighting anybody. It is to make democracy better by saying that you must open up the space. It is undemocratic to limit the participation of people. For example, if somebody says,
But why did you take that decision in the first place when you knew that it was undemocratic? Is it now because they wanted you out? That's why you now saw the light and felt it's undemocratic.
This has always been in the pipeline.
You gave them the automatic tickets before now.
Let me do something. The mind of a philosopher, they say, is like a bird in flight. You continue to cut forward, backward, and still make progress. That is the mind of a philosopher. It's like a bird in flight. So in the democracy, you continue to, how can we make this thing better? That is why there is always refinement. So we think that we should make things better. And I think these are individuals who are even happy about it, who are happy that they should be able to submit themselves to competition. They should be able to ensure that they make democracy better. These are Democrats who are really happy about such decisions.
Are you guys not afraid in the leadership that if you took that decision, you're probably chasing the likes of Peter Obi, Alex Otti out of the party?
I don't believe that. These are Democrats who have always believed in fair competition.
If they decide to leave the party, isn't the party in trouble?
I don't think so. Why should the party be in trouble? They are, you cannot stop anybody from expressing his wish. And I think they love the party. They are going to remain in the party. And they are going to enjoy, and they are going to also promote fair competition in the party.
What plans do you, in the Abure leadership, plan to give the party a proper structure?
The party is growing every day. Every day the party is growing, and we are making the party better and better.
How? Without Congress at the different levels, ward, local government, states?
Congresses will be held as at when due. You see, what the mistake people are making is that before 2024 constitution of the party, the tenure of office of ward, local government, and state executive are only 3 years, and the tenure of office of national officers 4 years. So if you look at that, it does not fall into, you see, the time for the National Convention does not necessarily mean the time, the term of the ward executive, the local government executive, and the state executive will expire. So that is the thing. But we are
some of the obedience are not quite happy with Abure, and some of you.
Many of them do not understand the party very well.
Because these are the obedience were the ones who supported Peter Obi. And if they are angry, they believe that some of you in the leadership of the party are actually being used by opposition forces to disrupt and to decapacitate the Labour Party. Why are you towing that line?
That is not true. We are here, we are encouraging everybody to come in. We have built the party even before these people come in. The obedience, many of them do not understand the running of the party, but many of them are coming on board now, and we are making them understand how the party works. And today, many of them are fully with us, and they understand us. And I believe His Excellency too now have seen what we are doing. And I think there should be no reason for him to feel that we are chasing anybody away. There's no reason for him to also feel that we have anything against him. Because today, what we have just done is to make things better, to make the working of the party more democratic.
So you want Peter Obi to succumb to the leadership of the party?
The party is supreme. Peter Obi has not said that he's not going to work with the party. He has never said that.
All right. Kehinde Edun is the legal advisor of the Labour Party. Is speaking about some of the development. Thank you so much indeed for your time.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I'm Sean Akimara. I'll see you tomorrow, God willing. God bless Nigeria.